BGMC. The biblical truth lives here.
The ancient Hebrew scriptures foretold of the Anointed One, Yeshua HaMashiach. The Messiah Yeshua came to call the people back to the truth of His word and to follow that righteous path. Yeshua then called Jewish men to be His disciples, and after His death and resurrection, those Jewish men told the world about the Jewish Messiah. Now, after 2,000 years, Beth Goyim Messianic Congregation has that same calling of those Jewish men, telling all people, both Jew and Gentile, about the proper ancient path, teaching the Route 66 King's Highway from Genesis through to Revelation, and how you need and can get back to the proper roots of the faith and a closer walk with God. Now, let's hear the message.
Let's go! Get a blessing. Turn to Revelation 14, verse 4 and 5.
Vamos a Revelaciones capítulo 14, versículos 4 y 5.
Welcome to the City Gate Messianic Bible study.
Bienvenidos al estudio bíblico de la puerta de la ciudad mesiánico.
We're going to be studying the book of the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 5.
Vamos a estar estudiando el Evangelio de Mateo, capítulo 5.
Okay, and we've been studying it for this is now part number 27, and we've gone through 8 verses.
Esta es la parte número 27 y hemos revisado 8 versículos.
We're now into the part where we're looking at synonyms for pure.
Ahora estamos mirando sinónimos para la palabra puro.
Synonyms for pure.
Sinónimos para la palabra puro.
We're on slide number 32. If you're doing the PowerPoint.
Estamos en la página 32 y estás usando la presentación.
And then we might also go into a second part tonight also, since we don't have a lot of people in house, and
Tal vez entremos en una segunda parte esta noche, como no hay mucha gente aquí en la casa.
Usually when you have a lot of people, there's a lot of conversation.
Normalmente cuando hay muchas personas hay mucha conversación.
All right, Revelation 14, verse 4 and 5.
Revelaciones capítulo 14, versículos 4 y 5.
These are the ones who have not defiled themselves with women, for they are virgins. They follow the Lamb wherever He goes. They have been ransomed from among humanity as first fruits for God and the Lamb. On their lips no lie was found. They are without defect. Okay, the key word is defect, and it is the word blameless.
La palabra clave es sin defecto y significa sin culpa.
We're looking at we're trying this together with Matthew 5 verse 8.
Estamos uniendo esto con Mateo capítulo 5 versículo 8.
Where it said, "How blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God."
Donde dice, bienaventurados los puros de corazón, porque ellos verán a Dios.
Okay, and the reason we're looking at the word defect,
la razón por que estamos mirando la palabra defecto,
that is tied together with the Hebrew word tamim,
eso se une junto con la palabra hebreo tamim,
which is definition number 3,
que es el significado número 3,
entirely in accord with truth.
Enteramente de acuerdo, completamente en acuerdo con la verdad.
And if we look at Revelation 14 verse 5,
si miramos a Revelaciones capítulo 14 versículo 5,
on their lips no lie was found, they are without defect.
En sus labios no se encontró mentira, ellos estuvieron sin defecto.
Okay, so they are entirely in accordance with God's truth.
Ellos están completamente de acuerdo con la verdad de Dios.
Now, what would be God's truth?
¿Qué será la verdad de Dios?
Would it be what the church is saying is truth?
¿Será lo que las iglesias dicen que es verdad?
That you just got to believe in Cheez-Its and everything will be fine?
Que solamente tiene que creer en Cheez-Its y todo va a estar bien.
Okay, or is it with since the New Testament was not written,
como será que como el Nuevo Testamento todavía no estaba escrito,
that they're that they're entirely in accordance with the Torah that Yeshua told us to follow.
que estarán ellos completamente de acuerdo con la Torá de la cual Yeshua nos estaba hablando.
All right, let's go on to the next slide.
Ahora vamos a la próxima página.
We're now looking at the City Gate Messianic Bible Study.
Estamos mirando al estudio bíblico mesiánico de la puerta de la ciudad.
We're looking at synonyms for pure.
Estamos mirando sinónimos para la palabra puro.
We're now going on to the word integrity.
Ahora estamos mirando la palabra integridad.
Integrity.
Integridad.
Going on to the next slide.
Vamos a la próxima página.
Okay. That is the Hebrew word tam. Or tum.
La palabra hebrea para integridad es tom.
It is H8537.
Es el H8537.
It means integrity,
Significa integridad,
completeness,
completo,
fullness,
llenura, lleno,
innocence,
inocencia,
simplicity.
simplicidad.
Okay, say those words again. Number one, integrity.
Número uno, integridad.
That means, what does integrity mean?
¿Qué significa integridad?
Integrity is when something is whole, there's no damage to it.
Integridad significa algo que está entero, que no tiene ningún clase de defecto o daño.
After the Titanic hit the iceberg,
Después que el Titanic chocó contra el bloque de hielo,
its integrity was compromised.
su integridad fue comprometido.
And that's why it sank to the bottom of the ocean.
Y por eso fue que se hundió al
So being
suelo del océano.
pure
So, ser puro
ties together with integrity.
se une con integridad.
Okay, and how do you get biblical integrity?
¿Y cómo es que recibes integridad bíblico?
You follow the commandments of God.
Sigue los mandamientos de Dios.
They make you complete,
Te hacen completo,
they make you full,
te hacen lleno
and they are simplistic.
y son simples.
Going on to the next slide.
Vamos a la próxima página.
Now turn to Matthew 5:8 and hold that spot there. We're going to read Matthew 5:8.
Vamos a Mateo capítulo 5 versículo 8.
Matthew 5 verse 8.
Mateo capítulo 5 versículo 8.
Matthew 5 verse 8.
Mateo 5 versículo 8.
How blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. Okay, so what we're tying this word tome together with is the word pure.
Estamos uniendo esta palabra tom con la palabra puro.
Pureness is tied together with integrity
La pureza se une con la integridad
and simplicity.
y con la simplicidad.
See, the Bible is very simplistic.
La Biblia es bien simple.
Okay, God, doesn't try to trick you,
No te trata de engañar.
and that's why when people are getting Talmudic, you don't need to.
Por eso que cuando la gente se están volviendo simplistas,
Okay,
se están volviendo talmúdicos, tú no necesitas hacer.
because God knew He was writing the Bible for slaves.
Porque Dios sabía que Él estaba escribiendo la Biblia para esclavos.
Okay, so we're looking at a synonym of pure.
Estamos mirando el sinónimo de puro.
And remember Matthew 5:8 verse 48, it said what?
Acuérdate que Mateo 5, versículo 48 dice que
Be perfect, for your Father in heaven is perfect.
sea perfecto como tu Padre en el cielo es perfecto.
Now, Yeshua the Messiah would never give us something that was unachievable.
Ahora, Yeshua el Mesías no nos daría algo que no es que es inalcanzable.
I love when people say, you can't do the law.
Me gusta cuando la gente dice no puedes guardar la ley.
Well, then Messiah was lying when he said, be perfect, for your Father in heaven is perfect.
Entonces Mesías estaba mintiendo cuando dijo sea perfecto como tu Padre en el cielo es perfecto.
It's sort of like when you were a kid
Es como cuando era niño
and you had an ice cream.
y tenía un helado.
Did you ever have an ice cream on a nice hot summer day?
Tenía un helado en un día bien caliente en el verano
And you're licking your ice cream,
y estás lambiendo el helado
and the other kids are like, Man, that looks good.
Y los otros niños te están mirando y pensando que rico se ve.
And you go, you wanna lick?
Y tú dices, ¿quiere un poco?
And the kids go, oh yeah!
Y el otro dice,
You go like this,
sí.
psych!
Y tú le vas a dar un poquito y de repente se lo quita. Y
Is that what Yeshua was doing in Matthew 5 verse 48?
eso fue lo que Yeshua hizo en Mateo 5:48.
You know what I'm saying? Here, you want a lick of the ice cream? Forget it!
Él diciendo, ¿quiere un poco de este lado? Nada, qué engaño.
Okay, so we must try our best to be pure in heart.
Tenemos que intentar lo mejor para ser puro de corazón.
Okay, that means that God's word has great integrity.
Eso significa que la palabra de Dios tiene gran integridad.
Now hold your place in Matthew 5 verse 8.
Ahora, guarda tu lugar ahí en Mateo 5, versículo 8.
We're going to be turning now to the book of Job. We're going to be turning now
Vamos ahora al libro de Job.
to Job chapter 2 verse 3.
A Job capítulo 2, versículo 3.
Job chapter 2 verse 3.
Job capítulo 2, versículo 3.
When in doubt, look in the index. Job chapter 2 verse 3.
Job capítulo 2, versículo 3.
Now remember, this is tying together with how blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God.
Esto se une con la escritura, bienaventurados los puros de corazón, porque ellos verán a Dios.
Job chapter 2 verse 3, everybody's got it?
Todos lo tienen.
Jehovah asked the adversary, did you notice my servant Eob, that there's no one like him on earth, a blameless and upright man who fears Elohim and shuns evil, and that he still holds on to his integrity, even though you provoked me against him to destroy him for no reason. Amen? Now, Eob went through a lot of trials.
Ahora, Job pasó por muchas pruebas,
But blessed he was because he was pure in heart.
pero él fue bendecido, bienaventurado, porque él era puro de corazón.
That word integrity in verse 3
Esa palabra integridad en versículo 3
is the Hebrew word tom.
es la palabra hebrea.
It means integrity,
Significa integridad,
completeness,
completo,
simplicity.
simplístico.
So let's read verse 3 again.
Vamos a ver el versículo 3 de nuevo.
Jehovah asked the adversary, did you notice my servant Eob, that there's no one like him on earth, a blameless and upright man who fears Elohim and shuns evil, and that he still holds on to his integrity, even though you provoked me against him to destroy him for no reason. So here, Eob was going through a lot of trials.
Job estaba pasando por muchas pruebas.
But we all know what happens at the end of the book, right?
Sabemos lo que sucede al fin del libro, ¿verdad?
And if you haven't read the book of Eob, shame on you.
Y si no has leído el libro de Job,
Okay?
pobre
Eob had a wife who's an interesting woman.
Job tuvo una esposa que es una mujer interesante.
I think she might have been Puerto Rican.
Ella poder haber sido puertorriqueña.
I'm thinking that, yeah, she's got a lot of qualities.
Like Evelyn. I mean,
Like Evelyn. Oh, she's on. And Evelyn says, what? Okay. Eob lost his children,
Job perdió sus hijos,
lost his business,
perdió su negocio,
had a lot of health issues,
tuvo muchos asuntos de salud.
all because Jehovah allowed it.
Todo porque Jehová lo permitió.
Okay? So, but he never lost his integrity
Pero nunca perdió su integridad.
because his love of God was pure.
Porque el amor que él tenía para Dios era puro.
He didn't stop doing what God had commanded.
Él no paró de hacer lo que Dios mandó.
He throughout all these trials,
Durante todas estas pruebas,
and his friends tried to tell him,
y sus amigos le trataron de decir,
there's got to be something you're doing wrong.
Tiene que haber algo que está haciendo mal.
Now, I know a lot of people like to say they're like Job.
Yo sé que hay mucha gente que le gusta decir que son como Job.
I don't think many people are like Job.
Yo no pienso que hay mucha gente como Job.
Okay, a lot of people really don't know the Torah.
Mucha gente en verdad no saben, uno, la Torah.
But your heart knows the Torah because we learned that in Romans 2 last
Pero
week.
tu corazón conoce Torah porque aprendimos eso en Romanos capítulo 2 la semana pasada.
So if you don't know the laws,
So, si no conoce las leyes,
how can you know that you're not doing something wrong to God?
¿cómo es que puedes saber que no le está haciendo algo malo a Dios?
If you can't quote more than 20 commandments,
Si no puedes citar más de 20 mandamientos,
then how do you know that your integrity is intact?
entonces ¿cómo es que sabes que tu integridad está intacto?
Especially if you're a Sunday worshiper
Especialmente si eres un adorador de domingo
or you're working on the Sabbath.
o si estás trabajando en el Shabbat,
Okay, like you're going to church in your uniform.
como estás yendo a la iglesia en tu uniforme.
All right, now, if you're a healthcare provider, that's a different story.
Si eres un proveedor de salud, eso es otra historia.
Or, so if, you
Un
know,
watchman,
well, I was going to get to that, Mario.
okay.
If you're a police officer,
Eres un oficial de
a
policía,
a firefighter,
un bombero,
a healthcare provider in many different avenues,
un proveedor de salud en muchas avenidas,
then you're part of the watchman category.
entonces eres parte de la categoría de watchman. What about a security officer?
Well, I think they would fit in like the police area.
Un oficial de seguridad también cae en la área de policía.
Because there's security.
Right, because it's law enforcement. Not directly, but indirectly.
Yeah, these are businesses that run 24/7,
Estos son negocios que trabajan 24/7,
that have to run
que
24/7.
tienen que operar 24/7.
Okay, now the business is like a machine shop doesn't need to be open.
Right, un negocio como un negocio de maquinaria no necesita estar
A
abierto.
supermarket doesn't need to be
Un
open.
supermercado no necesita estar abierto.
Okay, so Job held on to his integrity through every trial.
Job mantuvo su integridad en cada prueba.
Now, what did this mean?
¿Qué significa esto?
He didn't break the commandments.
Él no quebrantó los mandamientos.
Well, there are some people that say the commandments weren't written.
Muchos dicen que los mandamientos no estaban escritos.
Okay, well, the commandments are in your heart.
Los mandamientos están en tu corazón.
Is your microphone work?
Yeah, my microphone is
Okay.
on.
All right. Let's read verse 3 again.
Vamos a leer el versículo 3 de nuevo, por favor.
Jehovah asks the adversary, that's Satan, did you notice my servant Job, that there's no one like him on earth, a blameless and upright man who fears Elohim, shuns evil, and that he still holds to his integrity, even though you provoked me against him to destroy him for no reason. Okay, now there's another part.
Aquí hay otra parte.
He's a servant of Elohim.
Él es un siervo de Elohim.
Now, a lot of people put that the book of Job is before Genesis,
Muchos dicen que el libro de Job fue escrito antes de Génesis,
before the writing of
antes
Genesis.
de la escritura de Génesis.
So the laws were not written on parchment.
So, las leyes no estaban escritas en pergamino.
But Jehovah, the Father, is saying
Jehová el Padre está diciendo
that Job is blameless.
que Job es un hombre sin culpa.
So when your integrity is true,
So, cuando tu integridad es verdadero,
then you will be blameless,
entonces estarás sin culpa
and then you will see God,
y entonces verás a Dios.
even though you might have some trials going on.
Aunque tengas unas pruebas que sucedan.
Because the adversary says to the Lord,
Porque el adversario le dice al Señor
if you take your hand away from Job, he'll curse you.
que él le dijo, si tú le quitas la mano tuya de alrededor de él te maldecirá.
That's what most people are. They're fair weather friends.
Así es como es la mayoría de personas. Son amigos de buen tiempo.
Okay? So when things get a little bit tough,
Cuando las cosas se ponen un poco fuertes
or somebody says something bad to them in the congregation,
o alguien le dice algo malo a ellos en la congregación.
I'm leaving because you hurt my feelings.
Ay, yo me voy porque me heriste los sentimientos.
Yes, Job presented burnt offerings to the Lord, even though Torah was not written, because it was in his heart.
Job ofreció holocaustos al Señor, Aunque no, la Torah no estaba escrita, porque la Torah está escrita en su corazón.
just like Noah.
Igual que Noé.
Okay, so moving on
Abel
to.
too.
Okay,
And Abel too.
he offered up his brother.
No, Cain offered up his brother. Abel offered up the lamb.
Yeah. And Cain offered up vegetables.
Yeah,
And you know, God's a guy.
yeah. He wants to meet.
Probably broccoli. That's why God didn't accept it.
That would be funny.
Going on to the next slide.
En la próxima
Now
página.
let's look at verse 9 again.
Vamos a ver el versículo 9 de capítulo 2
Here-
del libro de Job.
Here you see the Puerto Rican wife of Job,
Aquí tuve la esposa puertorriqueña de Job.
named Evelyn. We don't know what Job's wife's name was. I'm going to call her Evelyn.
La esposa de Job, el rabino dijo que la va a llamar Evelyn.
His wife asked him, "Why do you still hold to your integrity? Curse God and die." Okay, that's a real nice wife to have.
Eso es una buena esposa tener.
I understand, you know, she can, things were going a little rough,
Yo puedo entender que las cosas se pusieron un poquito fuertes,
but no matter what,
pero no importa qué.
Job did not leave God
Job no se alejó de Dios,
because he was pure in heart.
porque él era puro de corazón.
But she,
He probably put some pitch on that leaky roof.
well, I think she died, doesn't she?
I think so.
Yeah, she dies. But imagine now husband and wife are supposed to be close.
La esposa y esposo deben de ser bien pegados.
They're supposed to be friends.
Están supuestos a ser amigos.
I know the world doesn't teach that,
Yo sé que el mundo no enseña eso.
but the Word of God does.
La palabra de Dios sí.
And here, the person that's closest to you
Y la persona que está más cerca a ti
is saying, "Curse God and die to you."
está diciendo maldiga a Dios y muérete.
That's a fine, outstanding wife that I would like.
Esa es tremenda esposa que me gustaría tener.
But the lesson that we learn from verse 9
La lección que aprendemos del versículo 9
is that no matter what happens,
es que no importa lo que suceda,
no matter what
no
happens,
importa lo que suceda,
you have a personal walk with the Lord.
tienes un camino personal con el Señor.
You
Un
have a
caminar
person-
personal.
You have a personal relationship with the Lord.
Tienes una relación personal con el Señor.
You have a soul that's going to be judged before the Lord.
Tienes una alma que va a ser juzgada ante del Señor.
Each person must have their own integrity.
Cada persona debe de tener su propia integridad.
Because here's his wife saying, "Why don't you curse God and die?"
Porque aquí está su esposa que le dice, ¿por qué no maldices a Dios y te mueres?
And that's the person you're sleeping next to in bed.
Y esa es la persona con quien te estás durmiendo en la cama.
Okay? So here, he was going through trials,
Aquí él estaba pasando por pruebas,
but if you're pure in heart
pero si eres puro de corazón,
and you hold out through the trial,
si te detienes durante las pruebas,
then you will see God.
entonces verás a Dios.
And that's one of the reasons we have the book of Job.
Y esa es una de las razones porque tenemos el libro de Job.
And Evelyn says, "Keep one eye open then."
Y
When you go to
dice
sleep.
que mantén un ojo abierto.
Or maybe
Mientras
we'll just,
duermes.
we'll call her Evelyn Lorena Bobbitt.
Well, Lorena Bobbitt's an Ecuadorian.
Oh, well, there's next slide. Psalm 15 now.
Salmo 15.
We're looking at synonyms for the word pure.
Estamos mirando sinónimos para la palabra puro.
And we're into the word integrity.
Y estamos mirando la palabra integridad.
Psalm 15,
Salmo 15,
verse 1 and 2.
versículos 1 y el 2.
Psalm 15,
Salmos 15,
verse 1 and 2.
versículos 1 y 2.
Psalm 15, everybody got it?
Salmos 15, ¿todos los tienen?
Verse 1 and 2. A Psalm of David, Jehovah, who can rest in your tent? Who can live on your holy mountain. Those who live a blameless life, who behave uprightly, who speak truth from their hearts. In this psalm, we're looking at the word uprightly.
En este salmo estamos mirando a la palabra recto.
That is the Hebrew word tom,
Es la palabra hebrea tom,
which means integrity,
que significa integridad,
innocence,
inocencia,
simplicity.
honradamente, rectamente.
So
Is the
looking
word
at ver-
uprightly.
So looking at verse 2 again,
Mirando el versículo 2 de nuevo.
those who live a blameless life, who behave uprightly, who speak truth from their hearts.
Amén, amén.
Okay, behaving uprightly,
Comportándose rectamente,
then you will see God.
entonces verán a Dios.
How does one behave uprightly?
¿Cómo es que uno se comporta rectamente?
Well, if you don't know the commandments of God,
Si no conoce los mandamientos de Dios,
then you don't know how to behave uprightly.
entonces no saben comportarse honradamente o rectamente.
Because every man will do what's right in his own heart.
Porque cada hombre hará lo que se ve bien en su propio corazón.
But if you're pure,
Pero si eres puro,
meaning simplistic,
significa que quiere decir simplístico.
like God says, don't cut your beard.
Como Dios dice, no te cortes las barbas.
Don't mar the edges of your beard.
No cortes o dañes las orillas de tu barba.
So if you cut this thing at all,
So, si lo cortas,
then you're marring the edges of your beard.
entonces estás dañando las orillas de tu barba.
You're breaking the intent. Hey, it's Oscar!
Hola, Oscar.
We were just talking about Guatemala.
Shalom. Ecuador.
Okay? So if you cut your beard, you're breaking its integrity.
Si cortas tu barba, estás quebrantando su integridad.
If it falls out, that's a different story.
Si se cae, esa es otra historia.
You know, sometimes they get pretty long and then they finally fall out.
A veces se ponen bien largos y después se caen.
Or you choke yourself at night when you're sleeping.
O te ahorcas en la noche cuando estás durmiendo.
You know, you go to roll over and you're stuck under your own arm.
Y te vas a dar la vuelta y estás estancado en tu brazo.
See, God's word is simplistic.
Ve, la palabra de Dios es simple,
So is being pure in heart.
igual que ser puro de corazón.
Look at verse 2 again.
Vamos a ver el versículo 2 de nuevo.
Those who live a blameless life, who behave uprightly, who speak truth from their hearts. Okay? So behaving
Comportándose
means leading a simplistic life.
significa vivir una vida simple.
Now, what would that mean?
¿Qué sería, qué quisiera decir eso?
Okay? So we talked about the beard.
So, hablamos sobre la barba.
Okay? God says don't get any tattoos.
Dios dice no te hagas tatuajes.
I don't care what anybody else is doing.
A mí no me importa lo que esté haciendo lo demás.
God is very clear with a separate word in the Hebrew,
Dios es bien claro con una palabra separada en el hebreo.
don't get a tattoo.
No te hagas tatuajes.
God says don't shave your head.
Dios dice no te afeites tu cabeza.
Very simple.
Bien simple.
Okay, God says keep the Sabbath holy.
Dios dice guarda el Shabbat santo.
Well, that's not as simple,
Eso no es tan simple.
because how does one keep it holy?
Porque ¿cómo es que uno lo guarda santo?
It's because there's a lot more rules about that.
Porque hay muchas más reglas sobre eso.
But he says don't cook on Shabbat.
Pero él dice no. Hold on. Simplicity es sencilla, no simple. Same context, same thing. All right. Isabel's correcting me.
Okay. Is there a better word for simplicity?
Yes, she said sencilla. Sencilla,
Okay.
which is simple, but it's the same. It's, yeah, okay.
Well, sometimes different words are, this is why we're doing synonym.
Right,
So the word you might be using might be a synonym, but it's not the best synonym.
right. So she said that the word is sencilla.
Okay, so let's use that one.
Okay.
So when you behave uprightly,
Cuando te comportas rectamente,
when you speak truth,
cuando hablas la verdad,
you know, Speaking truth means keeping the Sabbath holy.
Hablar la verdad significa guardar el Shabbat Santo.
Anybody who says that Messiah changed the Sabbath is not speaking truth.
El que dice que Mesías cambió el Shabbat no está hablando verdad.
Pureness of heart,
Pureza de corazón.
and this is the hardest thing for most people.
Y esto es lo más difícil para la mayoría
And
de
it was for
personas.
me with the beard.
Y era para mí con la barba.
Like I don't like it long.
Como no me gusta largo,
I like it nice and short,
me gusta cortito.
nice and cropped, nice lines.
Bien perfilado.
This is a mess.
Esto es un reguero.
Especially by the end of the day, it's a mess.
Especialmente al final del
And you
día.
always have something in your beard, like somebody's like, you got something.
Siempre alguien me está diciendo tiene algo en la barba.
Okay. When you're pure in heart,
Cuando eres puro de corazón,
you don't question the commandments of God.
no cuestionas los mandamientos de
You
Dios.
just do it.
Simplemente lo hace.
So when you're living in integrity,
Cuando está viviendo en integridad,
if God said to the 14th day at evening to celebrate the Pesach,
si Dios dice que el día 14 en la tarde para celebrar el Pesach,
then you do the Pesach.
entonces haces el Pesach.
Okay? And God said, don't plant seeds between the rows. Don't plant seeds between the rows.
Ok, no siembre between the roads.
Rows.
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 Oh, que no siembre semillas en medio de los pasillos.
Okay?
Right.
So you just don't do it. Rows? We're looking up rows.
Rows.
Rows. R-O-W-S.
En renglones, rows,
Rows on farm.
hileras, filas, registros, líneas, en medio de las líneas,
Yeah,
Hileras.
just between your lines.
peleas.
Okay. So pure in heart means just being obedient.
Puro de corazón significa ser obediente.
And then you're living a blameless life.
Entonces está viviendo una vida sin culpa.
Now look at verse 1.
Mira el versículo 1.
Jehovah, who can rest in your tent? Who can live on your holy mountain? Okay. Those that are resting in his tent,
Aquellos que están descansando en su tienda,
those are going to live on his holy mountain.
esos van a vivir en su montaña santa.
Those are going to be the ones that are pure in heart.
Esos son los que van a ser puros de corazón.
Okay. Well, you're saying, well, the people in Jerusalem are not pure in heart.
Pero va a decir, las personas en Jerusalén no son puros de corazón.
Okay. Well, have they seen God yet?
¿Han visto a Dios?
In some senses, maybe.
En algún sentido, tal vez.
But they're not living in peace. There's
Pero-
no temple yet.
Pero no están viviendo en paz, no hay templo todavía.
Okay. They haven't seen Messiah yet.
No han visto al Mesías todavía.
Okay. They think they're still waiting for him to come for the first time.
Ellos todavía están pensando que lo van a ver por primera vez.
Okay. So read verse 1 and 2 again.
Vamos a leer el versículo 1 y 2 de nuevo.
Psalm of David, Jehovah, who can rest in your tent? Who can live on your holy mountain? Those who live a blameless life, who behave uprightly, who speak truth from their hearts. Amen?
Amén.
So when you live this blameless life,
Cuando vives esta vida sin culpa,
living in God's integrity,
viviendo en la integridad de Dios,
you will be blessed
va a ser bendecido.
with seeing God's hand in your life.
Viendo la mano de Dios en tu vida.
Okay? Everybody see this so far?
¿Ven esto hasta aquí?
Everybody seeing it?
¿Lo están viendo?
Is that a hand up, D? Or are you just falling asleep?
I'm listening. I'm not falling asleep. Not a question yet.
Okay, sorry. All right, now we'll go on to the next slide.
Ahora vamos a la próxima página.
We're going to Proverbs, Mishal 2, verse 7 and 8.
Vamos a Proverbios capítulo 2, versículos 7 y 8.
We're looking at synonyms of the word pure,
Estamos mirando sinónimos de la palabra puro.
synonyms of the word pure.
Sinónimos de la palabra puro.
We're looking from Matthew 5, verse 8. Blessed are pure in heart, they will see God.
Estamos mirando de hileras.
So Proverbs 2, verse 7 and 8.
Proverbios capítulo 2, versículo 7 y 8. That's what I said.
This is part number 27 of our Matthew 5 study.
Esta es la parte 27
Yeah,
de nuestro
27.
estudio de Mateo.
Okay, Proverbs 2, verse 7 and 8.
Proverbios capítulo 2, versículos 7 y 8.
He stores up common sense for the upright, is a shield to those whose conduct is blameless, in order to guard the courses of justice and preserve the way of those faithful to him. So here we're looking at the word conduct.
Estamos aquí mirando la palabra conducta.
That is the word in Hebrew tom.
Esa es la palabra en hebreo tom.
That is the word integrity,
Esa es la palabra integridad.
whose conduct is simplistic.
Cuya conducta es sencilla.
Okay? So people should, one of the hardest things I have to deal with,
Una de las cosas más difíciles que tengo para contender
is dealing with agendas of people.
es aquí tratando con las agendas de la persona.
Even in the congregation, people got agendas.
Hasta en la congregación las personas tienen agendas.
They're trying to get position instead of trying to serve the Lord.
Están tratando de obtener una posición en vez de servir al Señor.
But if your conduct is blameless,
Pero si tu conducta está sin culpa,
then you'll see things that need to be done and just do them.
entonces verás cosas que se necesitan hacer y los harán.
Not because of you,
No por ti,
but because you love God.
sino porque amas a Dios.
Okay? So, and when you serve God with this type of conduct,
Y cuando sirves a Dios con esta clase de conducta,
look at verse 7 again.
y mira el versículo 7 de nuevo.
He stores up common sense for the upright, is a shield to those whose conduct is blameless. He will defend you.
Él te va a defender.
He will open doors for you.
Él va a abrir puertas para ti.
He will show you that he'll bless you
Él te muestra que te bendecirá.
because he's blocking evil from attacking you.
Porque Él está previniendo que la maldad te ataque.
And even if he's allowing you to feel the flames a little
Y
bit,
aunque Él está permitiendo que sienta las llamas un poco,
he's burning off your chaff,
Él está quemando
stuff you don't need.
las cosas que no necesita.
Okay?
Te está purificando.
And that's a trial.
Y eso es
A trial.
a try.
Trial. T-R-I-A-L.
Eso es una prueba.
Okay? So the trial is not for God.
La prueba no es para Dios.
The trial is for you so that you can trust God more.
La prueba es para ti, para que tú puedas confiar más en Dios.
And why do I say that? Because we were talking about Job.
¿Y por
Job.
qué estoy diciendo eso? Porque estamos hablando sobre Job.
Job, no matter what happened, he never left God.
Job, no importa lo que pasó, él nunca se alejó de Dios.
His friends were right in their analysis.
Sus amigos estaban correctos en su
When
análisis.
his friends are talking to him, they're like, well, you got to have done something wrong.
Cuando sus amigos le estaban hablando, le dijeron, debería haber hecho algo malo.
Did you ever read Job? And you're like, well, that's the conclusion I would come up with.
Esa es una conclusión de la cual yo tendría.
Right? When you're reading it, you're like, his wife, I don't know if I'd go as far as his wife,
Yo no sé si iré tan lejos como su esposa.
and it didn't look like Jehovah was shielding Job too much, right?
Y parecía que Jehová estaba protegiendo a Job mucho, ¿verdad?
But it is a lesson for all of us,
Pero es una lección para todos.
that no matter what,
Que no importa que,
if your conduct
si tu conducta
is blameless, like we see here in verse 7,
es sin culpa, como vemos aquí en versículo 7.
Job is the exception.
Job es la excepción.
The rule here is
La regla aquí es
that God will protect you from all these trials.
que Dios te va a proteger de todas estas pruebas.
But
Pero
you have to be faithful with a little.
tienes que ser fiel con lo poco.
Blessed are the pure in heart.
Bienaventurados los puros de corazón.
If you're faithful with a little,
Si eres fiel con lo poco,
then he's going to bless you with a lot.
entonces te va a bendecir con mucho.
Wasn't Job blessed with a lot at the end, much more than he had or before?
Dios no le bendijo a Job con mucho más al final que que antes.
So if your conduct
Si tu conducta
is blameless,
es sin culpa,
he will guard your course,
Él va a guardar tu curso,
guard your
Tu
road that
camino.
you're on.
tu camino, tu fila, tu hilera.
But look at verse 8.
Vamos a ver el versículo
We're
8.
going to key on the end. We're going to read the whole thing, but we're going to key on the end.
Vamos a mirar el fin, pero vamos a leerlo todo.
In order to guard the courses of justice and preserve the way of those faithful to him. How does one show their faithfulness to God?
¿Cómo es que uno demuestra su fidelidad a Dios?
They show faithfulness
Le demuestran fidelidad
by this tone,
con este tono,
by your integrity,
por tu integridad,
by your simplicity,
tu sencillez,
your pureness of your heart.
la pureza de tu corazón.
Because we know that Torah lives in our heart.
Porque sabemos que Torah vive en nuestros corazones.
So if you're faithful to your heart,
So, si eres fiel con tu corazón,
then you'll be faithful to God.
entonces le vas a ser fiel.
And you'll be
a Dios.
faithful in your marriage.
Y vas a ser fiel en tu matrimonio.
Because every marriage hits some bumps.
Porque cada matrimonio le llegan los hoyos.
But what do you do with those bumps?
Pero ¿qué es lo que uno hace con esos hoyos?
You persevere.
Persevera.
You've made a vow.
Tú hiciste un voto.
You keep your integrity of your vows.
Guardas la integridad de tu voto.
Then you will see God work in your marriages.
Entonces verás a Dios de obrar en tus matrimonios.
But a lot of people just want to run out on their marriages.
Mucha gente quiere huir de sus
I'm not
matrimonios.
happy.
No estoy alegre.
I want to go be happy.
Yo quiero ser alegre.
How do you know that you're going to be happy if you leave this marriage?
¿Cómo tú sabes que vas a ser alegre si dejas este matrimonio?
Maybe you'll marry like a Puerto Rican woman next.
Tal vez te casas con una
Named Evelyn.
que se llama Evelyn.
No, I'll leave Evelyn. Maybe you'll marry something, an ogre worse than what you're married to now.
Tal vez te cases con una gran bestia más de lo que tiene.
Okay? You're thinking that you're going to be blessed.
Piensa que va a ser bendecido.
Okay? But God is saying here,
Pero Dios está diciendo aquí,
if you're faithful
si eres fiel
to Him,
a Él,
then He will fix the other things.
entonces Él va a arreglar lo demás.
But you have to do your part.
Pero tú tienes que poner de tu parte.
Then you will see God.
Entonces verás a Dios.
Because in Matthew 5 verse 8,
Porque en Mateo 5, versículo 8,
how blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God.
bienaventurados los puros de corazón, porque ellos verán a Dios.
If your integrity is proper.
Si tu integridad es apropiado.
But if you're not,
Pero si no,
then bad things occur.
entonces las cosas malas suceden.
Okay, so you're saying, I'll leave this marriage.
Entonces dice, pues me voy a dejar este matrimonio.
I met somebody at work that's, they're nice, they're beautiful.
Conocí a alguien en el trabajo que son buena gente, es bella.
But you don't really know a person
Pero en verdad no conocen a una persona
until you've been married like 5 years.
hasta que esté casado por 5 años.
Okay, the first year it's all physical.
El primer año es todo físico.
Okay, then maybe a baby comes along,
Y tal vez viene un bebé
and that changes your life.
y eso cambia tu vida.
Third year, maybe finances are getting a little tight,
El tercer año tal vez las finanzas están poniéndose un poquito más
and
apretadas.
then your wife or your husband turns out to be like Job's wife.
Entonces tu esposa o esposo sale parecerse a la esposa de Job.
And you're a person that's supposedly of faith.
Y tú eres una persona supuestamente de fe.
And then now you're like, man, I should have stayed with my ex-wife.
Y ahora está pensando, debería haberme quedado con mi ex esposa.
Now I'm married to Godzilla.
Ahora estoy casado con Godzilla.
"Ah!" and your flames coming out of her mouth.
Godzilla.
Go Godzilla.
It's Godzilla. Godzilla.
Wait, it's
Godzilla.
Crapzilla. Okay, so faithfulness
Fidelidad
is tied to your integrity.
se une con tu integridad.
And if you can't be faithful with a little bit,
Y si no puedes ser fiel en lo poco,
then you're not going to see God.
entonces no vas a ver a Dios.
But if you're faithful with a little,
Pero si eres fiel con lo poco,
if you're pure in your heart,
si eres puro en tu corazón,
and well, I didn't know the law.
yo no conocía la ley.
You didn't study the law is
No
what
estudiaste la
happened.
ley, lo que sucedió.
Just because you don't study doesn't mean you're not required to know it.
Simplemente porque no lo estudias no significa que no debes de saberlo.
I didn't know the speed limit was 25 here, officer.
¿De what?
I didn't know the speed limit
No.
was here,
Yo no sabía
25
que
here,
el
officer.
límite de velocidad era 25 millas por hora, oficial.
And the officer's like, wasn't it in the driver's manual? Residential 25?
Pues no estaba en el manual de conducir, que dice en residencial el límite es 25 millas por
At
hora.
least here in Jersey.
Por lo menos aquí en New Jersey.
I don't know what it's like there in North Carolina or something like that.
It's the same all over.
Residential,
Residential.
okay? 25 miles an hour.
25 millas por hora.
But the officer's like, you should have known that. You took the test.
Deberías haber conocido eso, tomaste el examen.
Okay, so how does that tie together?
So, ¿cómo eso se une con esto?
Tests are from the Lord.
Las pruebas son del Señor.
Temptation is from the devil.
La tentación viene del diablo.
But if your conduct is blameless,
Pero si tu conducta es sin culpa,
you will pass the temptation,
vas a pasar la tentación
which will enable you to pass the test,
que te va dar la habilidad pasar el
because
examen.
then in your heart you are pure,
Porque entonces en tu corazón eres puro,
you'll be blessed from God,
vas a ser bendecido de Dios,
and then you will see God.
entonces verás a Dios.
Yes, sir.
You say temptation is from the devil, but is it James or Timothy that says that when we are tempted because of our curiosities, our concupiscence?
God tempts nobody.
No, James, no, I didn't say that God tempts us. What I did say is that when we are tempted, we're tempted because of our own curiosities. Because we see, just like Eve, she was presented the fruit, and the fruit looked good to eat. So her curiosity is what made her eat, and her disobedience. So how can we be tempted by the devil if it says in James that we're tempted by our own curiosities?
Okay. So, parent, you can say that in Spanish.
Okay, mi pregunta es, si nosotros somos tentados por el diablo, entonces ¿por qué en Jacob, en Santiago dice que nosotros cuando somos tentados por nuestras propias concupiscencias?
Who asked the question?
Huh?
Who asked the question?
I did.
No. Did Chava ask the question? Or
No. Hava didn't ask the question.
So, tempting comes from, it's a two-way street.
La tentación es una calle de doble vía.
The devil was allowed to do his dirty work to Job,
El diablo fue permitido hacer su suciedad o su trabajo sucio con
but it
Job.
was Satan who got Chava. He was tempting her.
Fue Hasatán que la tentó a ella. But here's the thing. He did the same thing with Yeshua. But Yeshua was like, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of God.
His integrity
And-
was different.
Right, but what I'm saying is the decision or the choice is presented. But do we fall because Satan presents us with the choice, or because we're curious about the choice that we make if we don't make it?
home.
Integrity.
Simplicity. God said you should not covet your neighbor's bouquet.
Right.
Simplistic. Español.
Dios dice que no debe de codiciar la propiedad de tu vecino. Sencillez.
It's not a hard rule.
No es una regla fuerte.
It's a hard rule because we make it hard.
Es fuerte porque lo hacemos fuerte o duro.
Because of the manner of which our society has been designed.
Por la manera que nuestra sociedad ha sido diseñado. But still, coming back to that point, are we tempted because the devil tempts us or because we're curious?
Adam, did Adam have curiosity?
I don't know, I wasn't there. And the Bible really doesn't elaborate on that.
So, what made Chava? What was the impetus?
The impetus,
Or
once again,
who was the? Let's use Shakespearean.
but the impetus is this: whatever conclusion we come up with is just that. It's a conclusion. It's an assumed opinion because we don't have concrete facts as to why and how. I mean, we have how it happened, but we don't know why. We don't know the why behind it. All we know that it was, from what we see, is disobedience. But the Word of God is the Word of God from Genesis to Revelation. God doesn't change. He's the same yesterday, today, and forever. So if in the New Testament it says that we're tempted by our own curiosities, and all Scripture is God breathed, good for reproof, instruction, and judgment, then why do we assume that the devil has that much power to tempt us when it is us that actually give the devil the power when he presents us with the situation that we accept the temptation that supposedly he's presenting us because we're curious about it?
Okay, well let's back up a little bit.
Okay, I'm
From
sorry.
your dissertation.
I'm sorry.
When Rav Shaul wrote all Scripture is God breathed, what was he
He
referencing?
was referencing the TANAK.
Okay, Español.
Cuando Pablo hizo referencia a que toda escritura es inspirada por Dios, él estaba hablando sobre el TANAK.
We have Eob that we just read,
Tenemos a Job que terminamos de leer,
that Satan is going to be the tool.
que Satanás va a ser la herramienta.
We know from Mishal 16
Sabemos que por
Proverbs.
Proverbios 16
that we're in charge of our hearts.
que estamos a cargo de nuestros corazones.
In our hearts, from Romans 2,
En nuestros corazones, por Romanos 2,
we know good and evil.
conocemos el bien y el mal.
So the curiosity shouldn't be there
So, la curiosidad no debe de estar ahí,
because we have knowledge of good and evil.
porque tenemos conocimiento del bien y el mal.
We just don't want to have integrity
Simplemente no queremos tener integridad,
because we always think the grass is greener on the other side.
porque siempre pensamos que la hierba es más verde en el otro lado del portón.
Many people of divorces
Muchas personas de productos de divorcio
always think that it's going to be better once I leave.
siempre piensan que va a ser mejor ya cuando me vaya.
Sometimes, yes, but most of the time, no.
A veces sí, pero la mayoría de veces no.
Because God has given us the second commandment.
Porque Dios nos ha dado el segundo mandamiento.
So it might be better for those two people,
A veces sería mejor para esas dos personas,
but not better for the children.
pero no mejor para los hijos.
Because the children have now a distrust of everything that you taught them.
Porque ahora los niños no confían en todo lo que le han enseñado.
Because you put the seed of doubt into them.
Porque sembraste la semilla de duda en ellos.
Because if mommy and daddy can't love each other, how can I love an unseen God?
Porque si mami y papi no se pueden amar el uno al otro, ¿cómo yo puedo amar a un Dios que no se ve?
Inside of us
Adentro de
lives
nosotros
integrity
hay integridad
that has to be chosen.
que tiene que ser escogido.
We have to choose good.
Tenemos que elegir el bien.
We have to follow the simple rules given to us by God.
Tenemos que seguir las leyes simples que nos ha dado Dios.
Like the church loves to quote
Como la iglesia le gusta citar
the two,
los dos,
but they don't want to read the first half of the sentence from the number one, which is the Shema.
ellos no quieren leer la primera mitad de la oración, que es el Shema.
They miss that whole part of listening to the laws and having integrity.
Ellos pierden el escuchar esa parte de escuchar la ley y tener integridad.
The problem with Adam
El problema con Adán
was his conduct.
fue su conducta.
He tried to hide from his father.
Él trató de esconderse de su padre.
His integrity was compromised.
Su integridad fue comprometido.
Had he just asked, "What should we do? I made a mistake,"
Si él hubiera dicho ¿qué hacemos? Cometí un error.
we have a God of mercy.
Tenemos un Dios de misericordia.
He says that about himself.
Él dice eso de él mismo.
But when we try to hide our curiosity,
Pero cuando tratamos de esconder nuestras curiosidades,
it's hiding the evilness that lurks inside of
es
us.
esconder la malicia que está dentro de nosotros.
And most people don't want to look into the abyss.
Y la mayoría de personas no quieren ver en el abismo.
That's why Yeshua said, "Blessed are the pure in heart."
Por eso que Yeshua dijo, bienaventurados los puros de corazón.
He said you can do it in verse 48
Él dijo, lo puedes hacer en el versículo 48.
because you can overcome any temptation from the devil.
Porque tú puedes sobrevenir cualquier tentación que viene del diablo.
Could it have been easy for Job to curse God?
Podía haber sido fácil para Job maldecir a Dios.
Physical problems,
Problemas físicos,
losing his businesses,
perdiendo sus negocios,
his children and
sus hijos.
dying.
Estaba muriendo.
He could have easily walked away from the Lord.
Él podía fácilmente haberse alejado del Señor,
But he had integrity.
pero él tuvo integridad.
He knew that God existed.
Él sabía que Dios existía.
That's why on Shabbat we're doing the thing about hell.
Por eso que en Shabbat estamos hablando sobre el infierno.
People really don't believe it's there.
La gente en verdad no creen que está ahí.
Well, that's Satan's greatest lie.
Esa es la mentira más grande de Satanás.
Satan's greatest lie is, I'm not really here.
La mentira más grande de Satanás es que la gente crea que él en verdad no está aquí.
So the temptation comes from your lack of integrity.
So, la tentación viene de tu falta de integridad.
If Proverbs is correct.
Si Proverbios es correcto.
So I'm going with the Proverbs.
So, yo voy con el Proverbio.
Proverbs 2 verse 7 and 8 says,
Proverbios 2, 7 y 8 dice,
He stores up common sense for the upright and is a shield to those whose conduct, integrity, is blameless, in order to guard the courses of justice and preserve the way of those faithful to him. So when your integrity is faithfulness,
so, cuando tu integridad es fidelidad,
then he's going to be a shield about you.
entonces él va a ser un escudo alrededor tuyo.
Yeshua fasted 40 days and
Yeshua,
nights.
Yeshua ayunó 40 días y noches.
And it said he was hungry.
Y dijo que tenía hambre.
So when weakness,
Cuando la debilidad,
did he allow Satan to overcome him?
en la debilidad, él no permitió que Satanás lo sobreviviera.
No, he quoted the word back at Satan.
Él le citó la palabra de regreso a Satanás.
Chava quotes the word back at Satan.
Java le citó la palabra de vuelta a Satanás.
But then she does what he asks her to do
Pero entonces hizo lo que él le pidió que hiciera,
because her integrity was compromised.
porque su integridad fue comprometida.
Yeshua came to show us
Yeshua vino a enseñarnos
that your integrity can stay intact
que tu integridad puede mantenerse intacto.
if your focus is there instead of there.
Si tu enfoque está en el cielo y no en ti.
That's what the church and most Messianic congregations don't teach.
Eso es lo que la iglesia y la mayoría de congregaciones mesiánicas no enseñan.
You know, we were discussing in Road to Emmaus on Shabbat.
Estamos hablando en el camino a Emmaús en Shabbat.
You know, the second death.
Es la segunda muerte.
Who cares about the second death?
¿Quién le importa la
I
segunda
really
muerte?
don't care.
A mí no importa.
as long as if I pass the first test, I don't have to worry about the second.
Si yo paso la primera prueba, no tengo que preocuparme del segundo.
That's what this ministry is for.
Para eso es este ministerio.
You want to pass the first
Tú
test.
quieres pasar la primera
I
prueba.
don't care about the lake of fire and all the other silly stuff.
A mí no importa el lago de fuego y todas esas otras cosas.
Because once you're there,
Porque ya cuando está ahí,
it's horrible and it's just going to stay horrible.
porque es horrible y se va a mantener horrible.
But if you pass the first test,
Pero si pasas la primera
if
prueba,
you're pure in heart,
si eres puro de corazón,
then you're going to see God.
entonces vas a ver a Dios.
If you have integrity,
Si tienes integridad,
simplicity in following God's commandments,
sencillez en seguir los mandamientos de
then you
Dios,
don't have to worry about the second death.
entonces no tienes que preocuparte de la segunda muerte.
Fear the one who has the power to put you in Gehenom.
Teme a aquel que tiene el poder ponerte en Gehenom, en el infierno.
Got it?
Got it.
Get it?
Good.
Good. You good out there? Denise, wake up.
I'm listening.
Okay.
Integrity. I'm listening to everything.
Next slide.
Próxima página.
Any other questions about that? Proverbs 2?
¿Hay otra
We're good in the
pregunta
room
sobre
here?
Proverbios 2?
Okay. All right. Proverbs 19, verse 1.
Proverbios 19, versículo 1.
Proverbs, Michelle, 19, verse 1.
Proverbios capítulo 19, versículo 1.
Everybody liking this study, or should we stop this study?
Nah, keep going. This is a good study.
Alan May! Proverbs 19, verse 1. Better is a poor man who walks in his integrity than he who is perverse in speech and is a fool, namely the Democrats.
The liberals.
The libtards. Okay? It's better to be poor
Es mejor ser pobre
and walk with God
y caminar con Dios
than to be rich and famous and be a libtard.
que ser rico, famoso y un libtard.
Because you're going to see God.
Porque vas a ver a Dios.
Well, not Michael Moore.
Not Michael Moore.
He's not going to see God. Okay? But I thought we were supposed to be the head, not the tail.
Yo pensaba que estábamos supuestos ser la cabeza y no el rabo.
For a little while,
La cola.
Job had to walk in poorness, right?
Por un tiempo Job tuvo que caminar en pobreza.
So it's better to keep your integrity.
Es mejor mantener tu integridad.
Job kept his integrity even though he was poor, right? For a little while.
Job mantuvo su integridad aunque era pobre por un poco tiempo.
Are we in agreement that Job kept his integrity?
Estamos de acuerdo que Job guardó su integridad.
Okay, so he kept his integrity,
So, él guardó su integridad
and then after his trial was over,
y después que su prueba terminó,
because he never left the Lord,
porque nunca se apartó del Señor,
he stayed right by the commandments.
él se mantuvo con los mandamientos,
The Lord blessed him
el Señor los bendijo
with more children,
con más hijos,
more things than he ever had
y
before.
con más propiedad que él ha tenido antes.
But what happens a lot of times
Pero lo que sucede muchas veces
when we're poor
cuando somos pobres
is when we lose our integrity a lot.
es cuando perdemos nuestra integridad.
I gotta
Bastante.
work.
Yo tengo que trabajar.
You know, if I don't go to work on Saturday, you know, we're not gonna have enough money.
Si yo tengo que trabajar los sábados, no vamos a tener suficiente dinero.
You know, if I don't do this, I'm gonna, and they get into fights over money.
Y se pelean sobre el dinero.
It's rather to have a small place.
Prefiero tener
Better to have a small place
es más preferible tener un lugar pequeño
that has shalom in the home
que tiene paz o shalom en el hogar
than a palace like the queen and there's no shalom in her house.
que un palacio como una reina y no tener shalom en el hogar.
It's better to be poor and surrounded with people of integrity
Es mejor ser pobre y ser rodeado con gente de integridad.
It's one of the things that the Jews did bring to this land.
Es una de las cosas que los judíos trajeron a esta tierra.
Sometimes when you grow up in a Jewish neighborhood,
A veces cuando te crías en un vecindario judío,
especially sometimes, back in the 50s, the 1950s, 1960s,
como en los 1950 y 1960,
there was a lot of Jews that had come here after World War I.
había muchos judíos que llegaron después de la
World War II. Sorry, World War
Segunda
II.
Guerra Mundial.
And they lived in poor neighborhoods.
Y ellos vivieron en vecindarios pobres,
But the apartments were still kept clean.
pero los apartamentos se mantuvieron limpios.
There's something about the DNA that lives inside of the Jewish people.
Hay algo adentro del ADN que vive dentro del pueblo judío.
We were poor all my life.
Éramos pobres toda nuestra vida.
I ate so much chicken, I thought I was a chicken.
Comí tanto pollo que me salían por los oídos.
I started to walk like this.
Empecé a caminar así.
Okay?
They threw you in the backyard.
Yeah. No, we didn't have a backyard. That's where you hung the laundry with
And the
everybody
fire
else.
escapes.
Okay? But there were broken stairs in the hallway for our apartments.
Habían escaleras rotas en nuestros apartamentos.
Sometimes the heat worked in the winter and a lot of times it didn't.
A veces la calefacción funcionaba en el invierno y a veces no.
And it didn't look beautiful.
Y no se veía.
Had some broken
bonito.
floors.
Habían pisos rotos.
But we never peed in the hallway,
Pero nunca orinamos en los pasillos.
aired our dirty laundry outside the apartment.
O
I don't know how you translate that. Air our problems.
hablábamos, gritábamos nuestros problemas fuera de la ventana de nuestros apartamentos.
But when I worked on the ambulance in the inner city,
Pero cuando trabajé en la ambulancia en la ciudad,
I saw a whole different way of life.
vi otra manera de vida.
We had a little bit of Torah.
Había un poquito de Torah.
They supposedly had Jesus.
Nosotros tuvimos un poquito de Torah. Ellos supuestamente tuvieron a Jesús.
But our homes were better
Pero nuestros hogares eran mejores
than their homes.
que sus hogares.
Because better to be poor and walk with integrity
Porque es mejor ser pobre y caminar con integridad
than to be poor and have nothing at all.
que ser pobre y no tener nada.
My dad always said you have to have a good name.
Mi padre siempre dijo, tienes que tener un buen nombre.
Something the children today have no idea about.
Algo que los niños de hoy no tienen ni idea.
The same goes with a lot of the church and the Messianic congregation.
Mucho también se trata con la iglesia y las congregaciones mesiánicas.
A good name is like gold to God.
Un buen nombre es como oro para Dios.
See, when you walk in integrity, no
Sí.
matter if you're rich, if you're poor, if you walk in integrity,
No importa si eres rico, pero si eres pobre y caminas en integridad,
God will raise you up when the time is right for Him.
Dios te va a levantar cuando el tiempo es apropiado para Él.
If your heart doesn't get bitter,
Si tu corazón no se amarga,
then you will see God.
entonces verás a Dios. Amén.
And I have seen God.
Y yo he visto a Dios.
Okay? Better, look at verse 1 again.
Vamos a ver el versículo 1 de nuevo.
Better is a poor man who walks in his integrity than he who is perverse in speech and is a fool. Poor who walks in the simplicity of God's rules.
Pobre quien camina en la sencillez de las reglas de Dios.
Keep the Sabbath holy.
Guarda el Shabbat santo.
A lot of people leave even this congregation after the service.
Mucha gente se van de esta congregación después del servicio.
I gotta go walk a dog or some
Yo
silly,
tengo que
stupid
ir
lie
a
like that.
caminar al perro o algo bien tonto.
I had a dog and the dog knew to hold it.
Yo tuve un perro y él sabía aguantarlo.
You know, my dog Rinks would not drink all day long. He would fast all day long.
Y tú sabes que Rinks, mi perro, ayunaba el día entero.
On Shabbat, he would fast.
En Shabbat él ayunaba.
He would not drink any water
Él no tomaba agua
all day long
todo el día
so that he didn't have to go to the bathroom.
para que no tuviera que ir al baño.
But I would leave water for him.
Pero yo dejaba agua para él,
But he wouldn't.
pero él no lo tomaba.
So when somebody's leaving because I got to walk a dog,
Pero alguien se va porque tengo que caminar al perro.
or I got to go do this thing or something.
O tengo que hacer esta cosa o algo.
Then you have no integrity.
Entonces no tienes integridad.
And when God makes you poor,
Y cuando Dios te hace pobre,
you're going to know why.
tú vas a saber por qué.
But if you're pure in heart,
Pero si eres puro de corazón,
then you will be blessed.
entonces vas a ser bendecido.
Next slide.
Próxima página.
Okay, we're now going to look at another synonym.
Ahora vamos a mirar otro sinónimo.
Any questions on integrity?
Hay preguntas sobre
No
integridad.
questions besides Ben?
No,
Doc,
no hay preguntas.
it's straightforward. I know, but you usually got something. You're holding it. You're like my dog. Because we would take him out.
No, Zazel was the same way. Zazel would hold it. We'd be here 15 hours sometimes, and he'd hold it. We'd get home and he'd want to go out, but you know.
Yeah, well, that's the same with Rinks. He would want to go out. He would pee a storm and then drink. Come up for air.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Noah, any questions on Skype
Hay preguntas
for
en
integrity?
Skype. Hay preguntas en Skype para integridad.
Any question on WebEx land for integrity?
Hay preguntas en la tierra WebEx para integridad.
All right, going on to the next word is innocence.
La próxima palabra es inocencia.
Okay? Because what we're doing, what the Lord has led me to do with this,
Lo que estamos haciendo, lo que el Señor me ha dirigido a hacer con esto,
before we get to heart,
antes de que lleguemos a corazón.
blessed are the pure in heart.
Bienaventurados los puros de corazón.
You really need to look at the diamond
Necesitas verdaderamente ver el diamante
of what pure means to God.
de lo que significa la palabra puro para Dios.
So now we're looking at innocence.
Ahora estamos mirando inocencia.
Okay? That is the Hebrew word nakayon.
Nakiyon,
Yes.
nikayon, nikayon. Because that's a yod, right?
Yeah, it's the nikayon.
Nikayon. No, it's nikayon. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
nikayon.
Because of vav
Right,
and the nun sofit.
right. Es nikayon.
Nikayon.
Nikayon
Means innocency,
significa inocencia,
freedom from guilt,
libertad de culpabilidad,
freedom from punishment,
libertad de castigo,
cleanness of teeth.
limpieza de dientes. Ok.
Cleanness of, let me say that again.
Deja repetir eso.
Innocency,
Inocencia,
freedom from guilt,
libertad de culpabilidad,
freedom from punishment,
libertad de castigo,
cleanness of teeth.
limpieza de dientes. Lo limpio de dientes.
Remember, there's a picture of Yeshua
Acuérdate que hay una,
in Revelation. He's got white teeth.
hay una foto de Yeshua que tiene
I was thinking
dientes
that-
blancos en
that
relación a
commercial
Yeshua.
from that gum.
Orbit. Orbit gum.
Ding! Orbit. Going on to the next slide.
Vamos a la próxima página.
Okay, we're turning back now to Psalm 26.
Regresando a Salmo 26.
Psalm 26, verse 5 through 7.
Salmo 26, versículos 5 al 7.
Psalm 26,
Salmo 26,
verse 5 through 7.
versículos 5 al 7.
Everybody got it? I hate the company of evildoers. I will not sit with the wicked. I will wash my hands in innocence and walk around your altar, Jehovah, lifting my voice in thanks and proclaiming all your wonders. Okay? Verse 26.
Versículo, ¿no?
Verse 6. 26.
Versículo 6.
I will wash my hands in innocence and walk around your altar. That is the Hebrew word nikiyon.
La palabra para inocencia ahí es la palabra hebrea nikillon.
Now, when do we walk around the altar?
¿Cuándo es que caminamos alrededor del altar?
What holy day?
Yom Kippur. No.
Allie.
We walk around.
No, she's not there.
Pesach.
Audrey. Allie, what holy day do we walk around the altar, Allie?
It's only Yom Kippur or Pesach. That's what I said, Yom Kippur.
You can tell them they walked around the altar. And waved and tell them.
But Rab said no.
Just say it.
Allie, give me your answer.
Say it.
When do we walk around the altar?
Just tell them they walk around the altar.
When when do they go
We killed the thing.
around the altar? And I gave you a Talmudic reference.
No. Wasn't that this fall that y'all were gonna do that up there?
Yeah,
Okay, so it's in one of the fall ones.
you got one,
33.
3 of them to choose from.
Huh? I think so.
Yom Kippur.
The last day of Sukkot.
Allie, do you have what is your?
She says Yom Kippur.
Wow, you're wrong. During the last day of Sukkot, there's a water pouring ceremony
Hay
where
una
you walk.
ceremonia de derramamiento de agua en el último día de Yom Kippur.
Where you walk around the altar,
Y es a donde se camina alrededor del altar
saying Baruch haba b'Shem Yehovah,
diciendo Baruch haba b'Shem Yehovah,
and then you pour out the water at the edge of the altar.
y después derramas el agua a la orilla del altar.
Now, how does this tie together with verse 6?
¿Y cómo es que esto se une con el versículo 6?
Because you've washed your hands.
Porque te has lavado las manos.
It's after Yom
Es
Kippur.
después de Yom Kippur.
Your sins are atoned for.
Tus pecados han sido expiados o perdonados. Atone for Spanish.
Expiado.
Expiado. That's expiado. Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay? So here,
Just double check.
verse 6 again.
Aquí de nuevo el versículo 6.
I will wash my hands in innocence and walk around your altar, Jehovah. Okay? After Yom Kippur, the Azazel has taken the sins away.
Después de Yom Kippur, el Azazel ha quitado los pecados.
Blessed are the pure in heart.
Bienaventurados los puros en corazón.
Because you can't go to Yom Kippur
Porque no puedes ir a Yom Kippur
without asking for forgiveness.
sin pedir perdón.
Then you will see God.
Entonces verás a Dios.
Because you go into the holy place, the most holy place,
Porque entras al lugar santísimo.
and you see, in a room dimly lit.
Y ves un cuarto medio alumbrado.
Okay? So this Nikayom,
So, niquillón
you're free from guilt,
está libre de culpabilidad.
free from punishment,
Hold on a second. Libre de castigo,
free from guilt,
libre de culpabilidad,
free from punishment.
libre de castigo.
Okay? So now you're allowed to walk around the altar.
Ahora es permitido darle la vuelta al altar,
Okay? And because you're pure in heart,
porque eres puro de corazón.
now you're going to see the power of our God.
Ahora vas a ver el poder de nuestro Dios.
Yes, Miss Audrey.
So I may have missed part of the conversation that y'all had in that fall. I remember you saying something about y'all were going to do it there, and then you decided not to because it was Talmudic and not biblical. So is it biblical, or is that something we're supposed to be doing? Is that what this verse is referencing, or is it just kind of similar?
It is walking around the altar.
El darle caminar alrededor del
Au-
altar.
Audrey's asking about, is it Talmudic or not?
La pregunta es que si esto es talmúdico o no.
To have the whole congregation do it,
Para hacer que la congregación entera lo haga.
but the high priest would do it.
Pero el sumo sacerdote lo haría.
He would walk around the altar and come to the front
Él le daba la vuelta al altar y llegaba al frente
and pour the water out in front of the altar.
y derramaba el agua adelante del altar.
Okay? He had to be in innocence,
Él tenía que estar en inocencia.
because if he's defiled, then he would defile the temple.
Porque si él estaba manchado, entonces manchaba el templo.
And this is right after Yom Kippur, where the sins are atoned for with the Azazel.
Y esto es después de Yom Kippur, a donde los pecados han sido expiados por el Azazel.
So you can even take this to Shabbat.
Puedes llevar esto a Shabbat también.
On Shabbat, you're supposed to enter in, which you guys can do at 7:45 with us.
En Shabbat, ustedes pueden entrar con nosotros a las 7:45.
One of the parts of the ceremony for entering into Shabbat,
Una de las partes de la ceremonia entrando a Shabbat,
and this is on our
y
website,
esto está en nuestro sitio
under
web.
Messianic Student Study number 3.
I
Bajo,
watched it.
bajo messianicsstudent.org, estudio número 3.
Okay? You'd wash your hands
Tienes que lavar las manos
and
y
feet
tus pies
and have like an altar in your home.
y tener un altar
Well, you're
en
gonna-
tu hogar.
You're going to put your Shabbat set.
Va a poner tu set de Shabbat.
You know, a lot of people set up a very special area for their Shabbat.
Mucha gente ponen un lugar bien especial para su
So
Shabbat.
washing your hands in innocence,
Lavando tus manos en inocencia.
then the altar can also be your heart,
Entonces el altar también puede ser tu corazón.
because you are the temple of God.
Porque tú eres el templo de Dios.
Okay? Welcome to Beth Queen.
Bienvenido a Beth Queen. I'm just sitting back because I got pain over here.
Okay? It's gas.
Huh? No, it's not. It's all numb.
Okay, Audrey?
It's all numb.
All right. So, in innocence
En inocencia
is that pureness of heart.
es esa pureza de corazón.
Going on to the next slide.
Vamos a la próxima página.
Now to the questions.
Ahora a las preguntas.
I don't know. We'll see if we'll start up another part. We might go short today.
A ver si comenzamos otra parte.
Okay, because it's quarter of, and I don't know if I want to start. Okay, going back. We're going back to that psalm.
Yeah, first one. Why would David come past walk on the altar, seeing he wasn't from the priesthood, even if Joseph tried to rule? Wasn't the priesthood tribe? Why would he be required to walk on the altar?
Okay, so the question is, since this is David,
La pregunta es, como esto se trata de David,
as a king, didn't he make he and his son make the temple?
como rey, él y su hijo hicieron el templo.
He's not a priest,
Él no es sacerdote,
but he knew the Lord.
pero él conocía al Señor.
And so, where's the altar always been?
¿A dónde es, el altar siempre ha estado?
And can anyone make an altar?
¿Y puede cualquiera construir un altar?
Because is this specifically saying, because, you know, like if Abraham made an altar, yes,
Abraham hizo un altar,
but the temple wasn't built.
pero el templo no estaba construido.
We have many references of altars.
Tenemos muchas referencias sobre altares.
So, in innocence, you're walking around any altar that you can make.
En inocencia estás caminando alrededor de cualquier altar que puedes hacer.
Because if you use all the patriarchs,
Porque si usas todos los patriarcas,
they all made altars.
toditos hicieron altares.
Sometimes we do get locked into thinking that this is only the temple.
A veces nos trancamos en pensar que esto solamente está hablando del templo.
But one of the keys here, everybody, we're back in Psalm 26, verse 6.
Pero una de las claves aquí, vamos a regresar a Salmo 26,
You
versículo 6.
don't want to offer God anything with dirty hands.
No quiere ofrendarle nada a Dios con manos sucias.
It's in the book of Yeshayahu, Isaiah.
Está en el libro de Yeshayahu, de
Clean the
Isaías.
blood off your hands.
Limpia la sangre de tus manos.
Though your be sins be as scarlet, I will make them as white as snow.
Aunque tus pecados fueran como escarlata, se volverían blancos como la nieve.
So let's broaden verse 6.
Entonces vamos a expander en el versículo 6.
I wash my hands in innocence and walk around your altar, Jehovah. So Abraham walked around, gave to the Lord in innocence.
Abraham le dio la vuelta en inocencia.
Walk in my presence and be innocent.
Camina en mi presencia y sé inocente.
The Abraham, Yitzhak, Yaakov did the same thing.
Yitzhak y Jacob hicieron lo mismo.
You know, when Israel made a covenant with the name of the wife's father, the wife's brother,
Labán.
They put a burnt offering, right?
Israel y Labán hicieron un pacto.
So Israel made a covenant with the Lord. I'm going to make a covenant with my God.
Israel dijo que voy a hacer un pacto con mi Dios.
Even though he was in the company of an evildoer.
Aunque estaba en la compañía de un hacedor de maldad.
So he's washing. So when we wash our hands
So, cuando nosotros lavamos nuestras manos
in innocence,
en inocencia,
with the pureness of heart,
con pureza de corazón,
in the other synonym that we had,
el otro sinónimo que tuvimos,
we wash our hands in integrity.
lavamos nuestras manos en integridad.
And then this ties together with Leviticus chapter 4 and chapter 5.
Y esto se une con Levíticos capítulo 4 y capítulo 5.
The inadvertent offering.
La ofrenda del error inadvertido.
And what's the inadvertent offering?
Y que es la ofrenda inadvertida.
You find out you did something wrong,
Encuentras descubres que hiciste algo malo
and then you pay the offering,
y después pagas la ofrenda.
but now you've washed your hands,
Pero ahora has lavado tus manos
and then you're going to bring your offering,
y vas a traer tu ofrenda.
because you're not going to bring an animal that's got a defect,
No vas a traer un animal con defecto
and you're going to check out the animal and all its parts,
y vas a mirar al animal y todas sus partes.
and then you're going to wash your hands,
Y después tienes que lavar tus manos
and then bring it to the altar.
y después traerlo al altar.
Okay, so verse 7,
Versículo 7.
lifting my voice in thanks and proclaiming all your wonders. That would be the inadvertent error.
Eso sería el error inadvertido.
In thanks
Y en gracia
for giving me those 1,000 years.
por darme esos 1000 años.
Because he doesn't want anybody to die in their sin.
Porque Él no quiere que nadie muera en sus pecados.
You know, or a thanks offering.
O una ofrenda de gracia.
You've been the prodigal son.
Tú has sido el hijo pródigo.
You've been out in the wilderness.
He estado en el desierto.
You know, but you now come back.
Pero ahora has regresado.
So now you're lifting your voice,
Ahora estás levantando tu voz.
proclaiming the wonders.
Proclamando las maravillas.
Now you're free from guilt.
Ahora estás libre de pecado, de culpabilidad.
You're giving the offering, so you're not going to be punished.
Está dando la ofrenda, so no va a ser castigado.
Now you're cleaning your teeth.
Ahora te está lavando los dientes.
Why does he have white teeth there?
Porque Él tiene dientes blancos ahí.
What do you think that means?
¿Qué tú crees que significa eso?
What do you think that means?
Doesn't it have to do with the tongue? Has to do with the tongue?
Well, it has to do with the mouth. But
the tongue is a world of fire.
Out of the mouth comes.
The issues of the heart.
So if you got clean teeth.
So if you got clean teeth,
you got a clean mouth.
Your heart is clean.
You have a clean mouth.
You have a clean mouth, and people weren't afraid to speak close to you.
In the mouth comes purity.
Y de la boca sale pureza.
Okay, any other questions about this verse?
¿Hay más preguntas sobre este versículo?
Let's now go to the questions.
Ahora vamos a las preguntas.
Class number 8:5:8.2.
Clase número 8, Mattiyahu 5:8.2.
We're going to have 4 questions.
Vamos a tener 4 preguntas.
Honest.
Back to Pesach, right?
Okay. Our first synonym for pure was integrity. How does this word tie together with our discussion of Noah and why he saved his whole family?
Nuestro primer sinónimo para la palabra puro era integridad. ¿Cómo estas palabras se unen con nuestro discurso de Noé y por qué él salvó a su familia entera?
Our first synonym for pure was integrity. How does this word tie together with our discussion of Noah
Discusión.
and why he saved his whole family?
Okay. Nuestro primer sinónimo para la palabra puro era integridad. ¿Y cómo esta palabra se une con nuestra discusión sobre Noé y por qué él salvó su familia entera?
Question number 2.
Pregunta número 2.
In Psalm 18, it speaks of Tamim. About what subject? What would Yeshua say on the cross? Why would Yeshua say on the cross, this is finished, or did he mean something else?
En Salmo 18 habla de Tamim. ¿De qué tema? ¿Y por qué Yeshua dirá en la cruz se terminó o él quiso decir otra cosa?
Question number 2 again, Psalm 18, it speaks of Tamim. About what subject? Why would Yeshua say on the cross, this is finished, or did he mean something else?
En Salmo 18 habla de Tamim. ¿De qué tema? ¿Y por qué Yeshua dirá en la cruz se terminó o que él quiso decir otra cosa?
Question number 3. In Eov 2:9, we now use the word tom. How does this apply to pure in heart in Eob's wife?
En Job capítulo 2 versículo 9 usamos ahora la palabra tom. ¿Cómo se puede aplicar esto a puro de corazón y la esposa de Job?
Question number 3 again. In Eob 2:9, we now use the word tom. How does this apply to pure in heart in Eob's wife?
Pregunta número 3 de nuevo. En Job capítulo 2 versículo 9 ahora usamos la palabra tom. ¿Cómo esto se aplica a puro en corazón y la esposa de Job?
And finally, question number 4. How does the last synonym word tie together with Sukkot?
Y finalmente en la pregunta número 4, ¿cómo el último sinónimo se une junto con Sukkot?
Once again, number 4. How does the last synonym word tie together with Sukkot?
La pregunta número 4, ¿cómo es que el último sinónimo se une con Sukkot?
All right. Any questions from Skype land?
Hay preguntas de la tierra Skype.
Any questions from WebEx land?
Hay preguntas de la tierra de Webex.
Any questions in the room?
Hay preguntas en el cuarto.
Okay? No questions? You good? Okay, next week we're going to go on the word heart.
La próxima semana vamos a comenzar con la palabra corazón.
Okay, I know we're ending a little early tonight, but I don't want to start heart.
Estamos terminando un poco temprano, pero no quiero comenzar la palabra corazón todavía.
I'm already up to 50 slides. And
Ya
I haven't even done the New Testament yet.
50 páginas.
All right, let's just pray to close this class.
Vamos
Thank
a
you,
orar.
Lord, for your blessings today. Thank you, Lord, for this understanding of the word pure. We know your word is pure, and give us the ability and the integrity. Let us seek your integrity. Let us seek more integrity in our life. Let us shore up the dents, Lord. Give us the strength to when everybody's falling away, no matter who they are, we still have integrity. In your word. In your name, Yeshua. Amen.
Shalom, this is Messianic Rabbi Andrew Dinnerman. I would personally like to thank you for tuning in to the Remnant's Call each and every week. You can listen to the full message on our website, bethgoyim.org. If you have drawn closer to the King of Kings, learned more about Him today, we are blessed. If you are blessed by these messages, please consider a donation to our ministry. You can go to our website, bethgoyim.org. That's BETHGOYIM.org, and click on the donate button. You do not have to have a PayPal account to donate. All you need is a debit card. Once again, thank you very much for listening to The Remnant's Call.
If you have not taken your first steps to be born again, just ask God's help. Remember, it's His loving grace that has come to find you. No one is worthy or able to reach God, but God can reach us, and He's reaching out to you now. Just open your heart and let Him in. His arms are open, and the blessing of salvation and eternal life are waiting for you. Don't let it wait any longer.
Ya Adonai, panavoleka, vikuneka, Yisa Adonai, panavoleka, vayasem laka, shalom. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord lift His face to shine upon you. May the Lord be gracious unto you and give you His shalom.
Shalom, my name is Messianic Rabbi Andrew Dinnerman, and I invite you to come to visit our congregation. If you are in the tri-state area, come out and visit with us on Shabbat. We are a congregation of Jews and Gentiles, living as one in the Messiah Yeshua. BGMC is a place of true worship. The focus never wanders from the Hebraic roots of our faith. Beth Goyim is rooted in the Word of God from Bereshit through to the book of Revelation. Messiah's strong words against man-made tradition are carefully recorded in Matthew 7. That is the reason we only follow the straight-up instructions found in Scripture, truly the way, the truth, and the life. If you're looking for a deeper walk with Adonai, come out for our Tuesday evening Bible study called Messianic Torah Time. Come, spend the day with us on any Shabbat. We start at 11 a.m. with the sound of the ancient Hebrew shofar. Next, we offer our King praise and worship in English, Hebrew, and Spanish. After worship, we review the headlines in the previous week's news from around the globe, especially news from the Holy Land, Israel. We don't just list the news headlines as current events, but we comb through the scriptures, searching for clues to understand what they mean and then to help pinpoint prophetically our current position on Adonai's clock. After digesting all that modern information, we leave the world behind as we journey with our Adonai deep into His eternal Word, not with just one or two scriptures, but usually 7 or more scriptures. The spiritual nourishment and the richness of His kingdom become accessible to the ones who share this special time and seek them out. The day does not end there. Because Shabbat is so special to Him, there is always so much more that our King desires to share. So instead of separating and leaving, we stay together as a family for potluck lunch and an afternoon study of our King's Word. We close the Shabbat together with the reading of the new week's parashah. That's the Torah portion. Even after those blessings, many of us just can't get enough. So the members bring prepared homemade foods to share while we all enjoy an uplifting movie together. If all that information is not quite enough, you can check out our website where you will find over 200 video teachings and biblical holy day studies. Under Messianic Torah Time, the Hebrew Roots button, you'll discover free studies on many, many different topics, including PowerPoint slide presentations. If Beth Goyim sounds like a place you'd love to visit, but you live outside the tri-state area, there is still a way to connect with us. We stream live on the internet on Tuesday, Thursday, and Shabbat. The website is www.bethgoyim.org. That's BETHGOYIM.org. Our phone number is 973-338-7800 or 978-2-YESHUA. That's 978, the number 2, Yeshua. Shalom.